So what can we do to get employees more aware of what they should be doing?
Yeah, I think that's a tough one because, I think everybody goes towards security awareness training. It's a, obvious option right there. And it is very commonly a requirement, which, by the way, backup MFA training and some other things like endpoint detection and response are cyber liability requirements these days. So if you don't do these things, you're probably not going to get an insurance policy and you might be out of compliance with the law. But with training, one of the biggest challenges is that you could do this training, and a lot of people might do a 60-minute training once a year, and then it goes in one ear and out the other, and people are right back to what their practices normally are. Or I see also people sometimes just say, every once in a while we get a phishing email. I'll sit down with the staff at the next stand-up meeting or whatever, and I'll run over what it was, and we'll kind of do a little ad hoc training. But when you don't have a formalized structure, what happens is you might miss some important things. It's not necessarily staying up to date with what current threats are. And then, like I said, it goes in one ear and out the other. So what I usually recommend are a couple of different approaches with training. One, think about breaking up into smaller bite-sized pieces, kind of sticking with our elephant metaphor that we're working with today, but doing that with the training too for the staff. So maybe instead of 60 minutes a year, do 15 minutes a quarter. But also think about when you're really busy. I know a lot of people push this off because in security in general, they'll say, look, we're in the middle of open enrollment. We can't touch any of this stuff right now. However, that's probably when you're more likely to get attacked because everybody's so busy. So before you get to those busy periods, accounting season, open enrollment, your 7-1 renewals, all of those kind of things that eat up our time and distract us, train before that so people go into that fresh with this stuff in their mind and they realize how this stuff gets used against them. The other tip I'll give is if you really want training to stick and you want people to understand why this stuff's so important, it goes back to what I was saying before. Help them understand why this stuff's important and give them tricks and tips on how to improve their own security at home. When people take cybersecurity home and they think about how to protect themselves and their families, it switches something a little bit different for them. And they start to understand more personally why this is important to do. And they'll start to take those behaviors they build at home into the office. And so as you start to build awareness around these things, think about ways that you can make this personal to them.